So we see a lot of first home buyers getting fatigued during the purchase process. Why I say that is because the process can take 2 months, it can take 3 weeks before you find a house, or it can take literally 1 to 2 years. Um, and where I find those first home buyers that are taking, maybe over 6 months or so, I do see the fatigue start to creep in. Um, and that is a bit of a dangerous point because what actually happens is, and I'm not talking about house property prices going up or anything like that. What I'm talking about is where first home buyers start to just settle for whatever at that point, just because they're so fatigued of taking the sales agents' calls and doing, walkthroughs of properties endlessly. They might do 3 or 4 on a weekend. It might start to just consume their lives on every night looking at realestate.com. I still do that, but yeah, it can get fatiguing. So what usually we see happen at this point is, like I said, they start going for properties that are in areas that they literally weren't looking for just because there is not enough stock on the market. They might start, going over budget because they think that they can't get a property within the price range that they were looking at. So all these things start to creep in, and it starts to, like I said, put a bit of a pressure point between yourself, if it's just you, or between you and your wife or partner or girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever it may be. So it is important to really understand that, and take your time, because what I see is you don't necessarily always get the property in your first pre-approval. You might take 2 pre-approvals, might take 3 or 4 or 5. So it's important to have a broker that's patient, firstly, to really go through that process with you and just make sure you're covered at every moment that you are looking at a property. But it's also important to note that it's very common that you don't necessarily find that property within 6 months, 90 days, or whatever it may be. So take your time. Make sure you're buying the property that is within your means. You're not just creeping up because you can't find anything, and it's within the area that you wanted to purchase in. So take your time. Properties do come. They always will be there. And if you're finding that it's hard right now, it might just be the market, it might just be that there is not as many properties at that given time. And like I said, just take your time through the process.